Welcome to Dollars and Cents, a monthly finance podcast presented by Altra Federal Credit Union and the Leighton Media Podcast Network.
Welcome to another edition of Dollars and Cents here on the Leighton Media Podcast Network. I am Jason Malillo. We are pleased to be joined by Danielle Anderson today. She is an Assistant Vice President for Altra Federal Credit Union, Assistant Vice President for Financial Wellness and Youth Strategies, also is the Scholarship Coordinator for Altra Foundation. Danielle, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Very good. Good to see you again. So we want to get in today mostly about the Altra Foundation, what it is, what it does, what it provides for people. And then we're also going to get into some of the scholarships you guys have and just kind of how those are helping people. But first of all, let's start with what is the Altra Foundation?
Yeah, so the Altra Foundation was created to provide financial wellness opportunities for everyone in the communities that we serve, both youth and adults. And we really believe that financial wellness is never too early to start. So we want to help people be financially well.
Mm-hmm. And I know we've talked about that before in some of our previous podcasts about it not being too early to start, also not too late to start,
Exactly.
right? It's just like you just do it when you can. Obviously, ideally to start early and get people educated about that younger. But no matter where people are in their financial lives, they can come into you guys for advice, right?
Absolutely. Starting is the first step.
Right. What does the foundation provide for people?
Yeah, so the foundation provides the Bonsai curriculum for classroom teachers, which is just really something to aid in their personal finance curriculum. We also offer the scholarships that you've mentioned. Those are for students. And then we also offer grants for educational programs in our communities.
And financial wellness is something we mention all the time. I know it's something, a term you guys use, a term a lot of your colleagues use all the time. But what exactly does that mean? Break that down for us.
Yeah, so financial wellness is really having the knowledge and skills to develop financial goals, to be able to budget, managing the debt, saving, investing, and then really just maintaining good credit.
You and I had talked previously, and we're both in situations kind of similar in our lives, I think, where we have homes, we have kids, and that kind of gets complicated with finances as we go. But, learning about financial wellness and financial responsibility when you're younger and maybe when you don't have as many financial responsibilities, can that be advantageous? Because then as it does get more complicated, you have that base? Absolutely.
It's like I said, starting is the first step. If you have one bill, maybe you have to pay your parents for your cell phone every month. Maybe it's $20. Just being able to understand that there's something monthly that might be happening. Or maybe if you're driving and you have to pay your parents back for car insurance or gas. Just those little things that you have to know are coming up, and you have to know when you get that paycheck, set some of that money aside for those things that are coming.
Right. And then that will be helpful when you have multiple bills to pay, a
Exactly.
mortgage, bills, electricity, water, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of easier to be in that habit then.
Yes. And then you're not juggling so much. You get to learn baby steps first.
Right. Yeah, very true. Danielle Anderson is our guest. She is an Assistant Vice President of Financial Wellness and Youth Strategies for Altra Federal Credit Union. She is also the Scholarship Coordinator for the Altra Foundation. And we want to talk about the scholarships. You guys offer several scholarships. Can you just kind of mention some of those, Danielle, and kind of break those down?
Yeah. So the first one that's been our longest running is actually the Tom Brock Community Service Scholarship, which recognizes students who have a demonstrated history of community involvement, such as volunteering. And like I said, that's our longest running one. That's been around since 2004. And we've actually awarded 278 scholarships totaling almost $200,000.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's helped a lot of graduating seniors. So this one is a $1,000 scholarship. It does go to graduating seniors, and it's awarded across all the communities that we serve. And actually this year we had 17 winners.
Yeah, very, very cool. How many communities do you guys serve? Remind me.
Yeah, so the La Crosse County area is one of our markets, along with Winona, Rochester. We're also in Tyler, Texas, and Clarksville, Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is the connection to Texas and Tennessee?
I know, it seems kind of strange, right? So we actually started with Trane, the heating and air conditioning company. So in Texas, there is a Trane plant. So that was one of our first locations. And then in Tennessee, Genesee, there's also another train plant, which was one of our first locations down in that area.
Oh, very cool. So interesting how those things develop.
It does.
Another scholarship, Altra Rocks. I love this name.
Yes. So that is a really fun one. And that one was actually created in partnership with the Copeland Event Center. So recipients of that one, it's a unique one because it's not just for high school seniors, which is a lot of scholarships that you see. It's usually those first time entering college, different things like that. But we really wanted this one to reflect more of the community and the need in the community. So recipients of this one must be facing a financial hardship or demonstrate a financial need. And that one is limited to Wisconsin and Minnesota residents. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that, again, is just because of that partnership that we have with the Copeland Event Center. And like I said, this one's unique because it's rewarded to non-traditional students, really. Mm-hmm. So we knew that there was a need for those types of students. Maybe it's an adult like myself that's going back to school for their master's or going back to school just to get my bachelor's degree, right. Anything. And there's not a lot of scholarships out there for those types of students. So we really wanted to make something unique for the community.
Yeah, no, that's very true. You're kind of filling a need there or, examining a need that maybe a lot of people don't think about because you think about graduating seniors coming out of high school, but there are people out there that need that. And I think also that can just give people hope, right? Because they might think it's unattainable,
exactly.
Getting a bachelor's degree or even getting a master's degree. Maybe they have a bachelor's and they want to up their education, like you say, but they're like, well, I can't afford that or whatever, so this could give them a boost that could make that possible and hopefully take them to the next step in their career. So that's also important. And finally, you have the Financial Education Scholarship.
Yes. So that one actually just wrapped up and we just awarded our winners at the beginning of June. So this one is unique because this one is also available to what you would say maybe non-traditional college students. And it actually starts in grades 9 through 12. Mm-hmm. So you can be a freshman and apply for this scholarship and we'll hold that scholarship for you.
Oh, that's cool.
We utilize the Bonsai Teen program and we ask students to go through those different modules. So they're going to be learning about things like budgeting and credit cards, making those everyday decisions. There's one example in there where they have to decide if they want to save their money to pay their rent or if they want to go to a concert with friends. So, those actual real life decisions that you have to make when you're an adult.
Yeah.
And we just awarded our 2 recipients last month, our first ever freshman one since this one has been going. I believe this started in 2020. Uh-huh. So entering our 5th set of students. And this is actually a really nice one. It's a $5,000 scholarship. Okay. And again, to be able to hold that for a freshman until they enter college, knowing that they have that when they decide to go.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. How do people find out more about the scholarships?
Yeah, so we have a landing page on our website. So you can go to altrafoundation.org, and then there is a scholarship section that lists all of the scholarships that we have out there. And we're constantly evaluating what we offer, what those requirements are. And if there's needs in the community, we want to hear about those because that's how we create our scholarships.
So it's always open to you guys creating more.
Yeah.
If people are contacting you and saying, hey, here's this, area where we think a scholarship might help people, you guys would potentially create another one.
Yeah. And that's actually how the Altra Rocks one was. We were getting contacted by members in the community that were non-traditional and asking if we had anything. And at the time we didn't. And again, when we partnered with the Copeland Event Center with the Altra Rocks concert series, we were able to approach them and say, hey, give us $1 back for every ticket. And that's what we're going to use to fund these scholarships.
Yeah, that's very cool. I'm glad you guys are open to that because the needs are ever changing.
Exactly.
And sometimes you will need the community members to identify the need. So you guys be open to that and then just kind of pivot or create new ones. So that's always, so it's like an ongoing process to help people. So that's a very good way to do it. You guys recently had a fundraising event for the foundation.
Yes.
What did that entail and how did that go?
Yeah, so we actually just had our 3rd annual golf outing. It was held at Cedar Creek down in Alaska. Unfortunately, the weather was not the greatest.
Oh, no. Did it rain?
It did, quite heavily. So we had to call the golfers in twice.
Oh, no.
But all in all, it was a fantastic event to be able to spread the word of the foundation and the different things that we're doing in the community.
Yeah. And how much did you guys raise?
We ended up raising just over $63,000. We had a goal of $60,000, so we were thankful that we were able to meet that, even with the weather not holding out for us.
Yeah. And what does the money go towards?
All of the money actually goes towards those scholarships and the bonsai program that we give teachers free of charge.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. And are you going to do the golf outing again next year? Is that going to be an ongoing thing?
Yes, we are still planning for it again at Cedar Creek. I can't think of the exact date off my head, but it's usually that third week in June on a Monday.
Okay, so hopefully better weather next year.
Yes.
We'll hope for that. But a good cause nonetheless, and obviously the money goes toward something really cool here that you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of good stuff you guys are doing in the community with the financial education and all the scholarships, helping a lot of people and helping a wide range of people, which is really awesome.
Yes.
Danielle Anderson joining us. She is the Assistant Vice President of Financial Wellness and Youth Strategies for Altra Federal Credit Union. She is also the Scholarship Coordinator for the Altra Foundation. Danielle, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Good to see you, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Dollars and Cents podcast here on the Leighton Media Podcast Network. I am Jason Malillo. We will see you next time. Thanks for listening.
Dollars and Cents is a monthly podcast presented by Altra Federal Credit Union and the Leighton Media Podcast Network. Find this and other podcasts on demand at winonaradio.com.